Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your dough.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow. Hey, great.
I got it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Well, let me tell you guys, lifetime warranties really mean the company's lifetime, not yours. I'm talking to you, Al Grace.
Uh-oh.
He's Tom, it's your Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Good morning.
Kristi and Jill jumped in from somewhere in the metaverse.
They tied me up at trivia and they said, you better put us on your show or we will make it rough on you.
Oh. Well,
And then when I went out to my car to put my equipment away, there was some guy named Bruno going like this saying, they're serious. They're very serious. So,
I'm glad you heeded their warning, Tom, because your health is very important to me.
Yeah, whatever.
Looks like it's important to him too.
We need you to stay healthy and strong. Are you at all also mindful of what Al Grace Appliance did to Rockford over the last couple of years?
You're talking to me, right? No, I do not know. I mean,
well, for at least a year, if not a couple of years, they were selling those lifetime warranties on appliances, even if you didn't buy them at Al Grace.
Okay. Yes. I do remember that.
And then what did they do?
They closed shop.
That was sad. That was sad.
Yes.
I don't know that was intentional, but it's kind of hard to think that it wasn't.
Yeah. I noticed Al Grace was gone, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, 5, 4, whatever it was. All of a sudden I looked over, parking lot's empty, and I'm like, oh, well, they're not very busy today.
Because they're non-existent.
Because they're not there.
I don't know what happened. I don't know the story. I just saw that quote about lifetime warranties, and I thought, I put 1 and 1 together, and I came up with about 2.5. So my math might be bad. I don't know.
Yeah. You went to the same school as Bruno.
me and Bruno. We are going to get to our special guests today, Jill and Kristi. They are from Rigatooni Studios, not to be confused with Rigatooni Studios, which makes pasta. This is a studio that apparently writes books. So we'll ask them about that and get the story on that a little bit. But before we get anywhere, we want to make sure we get to our big number of the week, which is not very big, which usually kind of gives Tom a perplexing look. 17.4. That's right.
That's it? 17.4?
17.4 is the big number of the week this week. The answer is peach or potato. Peach or potato. We'll give you the answer before the end of the hour, and you will also be very, very upset with me. All right.
Now, is potato spelled with an E at the end? Ba-dum, boom.
I am not Dan
Quayle?
Quayle, thank you.
By the way, the reason he said, no, sorry, it's got an E on the end is because the teacher who wrote the card put an E on the end. He was just going by what the card said.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
that's
how you know the rest.
The rest of the story. That's right.
Thank you, Paul Harvey. So this has been an interesting week. I got my cheat notes here and I'm dropping a pen on the ground, so I'm going to pick that up. We are able to reveal most of the secrets I had to keep last weekend. So
that's right.
I'm very, very, very happy to announce that my son Kenny proposed to his girlfriend last weekend, made it official, and put a ring on it. I probably should bring up a picture of the ring because it is fantastic. It's let's just say the bar is set really, really high now for anybody else. It's wow.
Yeah, he's already making those mistakes. Okay, gotcha.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
So we had we had a really cool engagement party last weekend in Naperville. His fiance lives in Plainfield, and their very first date was at a place called Empire, a really cool restaurant in Naperville. And if you recall last weekend, the weather was awesome. It was a beautiful weather weekend. So we go to downtown Naperville and it feels like it's Galena or Lake Geneva. I mean, there's just people everywhere. The town is just buzzing with activity. Hard to find a parking spot. Found something about a half a block away from the restaurant. And my wife and mother-in-law and I went up and hung out there waiting for them to arrive. He set up this awesome, beautiful little, I shouldn't say he planned this, but my daughter and their cousin set this up for Kenny so that it was all set. On the Riverwalk there in Naperville, put out this nice throw rug and a little thing set up with champagne and candlesticks and stuff and on this railing of the next to the river, a bunch of pictures of Kenny and Brittany and their romance that has lasted a little over 10 months now. They met January 1st of this year, and now they are engaged to be wed, and they will be doing that in June. So congratulations to Kenny and Brittany. That secret is out. It's already out there. And now you're ready. Here's the rest of the story on that.
All right.
The wedding date had been picked about a month ago by both of them. She actually found her dress and picked her dress out about 6 days before being proposed to. So that wasn't a surprise. The surprise was when it was going to happen. And Kenny's insistence, he wasn't going to do it until the ring was paid for and in possession and everything was ready, for photo ready, Instagram ready, or however you want to talk about that. So it was a very, I don't know, is that a very millennial thing, a very Gen Z thing? I don't know how to define it. All I know is it's a beautiful love story. So we're very, very excited for Kenny and Brittany. The other secret I couldn't talk about last weekend actually had to do with Michael Coolidge and his radio show, The Michael Coolidge Show, which has been on the air since June of 2006. He worked for me down in WRHL in Rochelle. And when he started there, he was just willing to do anything to be in the radio station and start his radio career, which at that time when he was hired included producing commercials, managing the production of those commercials and airing the commercials, and then basically taking out trash and doing anything else that we needed him.
Wow.
That's how he started his radio career. Before his radio career started, he had degrees from Northwestern, Boston University. He was in the military for 5 years, 6 years. I forget how many years.
He told the story last time he was on with us, and he said he did his 4 years, and then he signed up again when I want to say Afghanistan.
Desert Shield.
Okay, when Desert Shield ramped up, and then he did another year and a half, I think. So probably about 5.5, maybe 6 years.
Yeah. So he was a military Army captain. He served as a congressional page in D.C. This resume made no sense for the job he was doing in Rochelle until, I sat down and talked with him and figured out where he was going with this life goal of his to host his own talk show. And to grow that show to something huge, which he did. He was on like 14 stations across Illinois, from 2006 to today in 2011, basically 14 years of being on the air with the Michael Coolidge Show. And he did something really, really incredible with that show. He's ready to start a new mission, and part of that mission requires him to wrap up the show. So the last show aired on Friday. And on WROK, he broadcasted from the WROK studios in Rockford, and then disseminated that to his other dozen or so stations across Illinois and the Midwest. And Monday evening in Sycamore, he will be at MVP's. He's inviting the public to come and meet with him at MVP's, the Regal Room there in Sycamore, for his announcement of what his next mission is. So if you go to Coolidge.com right now, that's spelled with a K, KOOLIDGE.com, you can see the invite on his on his website now on Coolidge.com and check out his big announcement on Monday as to what his next mission is. So this show is done. The Great Michael Coolidge Show.
Oh, he'll be back at some point. You know he will, because it's in his blood.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about that on the air yesterday, but I was going to bring that up. Once you're in radio, you never leave. You never leave. It's in you forever. So kudos to Coolidge and his awesome broadcast career, and nothing but love and support for his next mission when he announces that on Monday. Tom and Joann and I did end up having breakfast together last Saturday. Hung out at Sherry's place for a couple hours.
That was cool. Yeah.
Great to catch up with you guys in person, face to face. Sherry's always has great breakfasts and stuff there. So thank you, Sherry's place, for that. And then the last couple things I want to mention is from yesterday. Yesterday, I had a chance to attend the Rockford Linked Lunch, which I think I've talked about in the past, a great networking group in Rockford that's hooked up through LinkedIn. The LinkedIn platform is a Rockford Linked group called the Rockford Linked Lunch. And the second Friday of every month, we have lunch at the Machine Shed here in Rockford. So if you're a business professional or entrepreneur and want to network with other business professionals or entrepreneurs, that sort of thing, we invite you to take part of that. When that lunch got done, I was invited to another lunch over at the new Rockford Casino.
Oh,
the former Giovanni's is now Rockford Casino, a hard rock opening act, I think is how they promote this. And it is really quite amazing what they've done with what used to be Giovanni's. All the walls are basically gone. You walk in the front door and there used to be a hallway with restrooms and then the different, convention rooms, meeting rooms. That's all gone. What used to be Alchemy Restaurant is now called the Midway Restaurant, which is still this, basically looks the same. They didn't change really anything about that. Looks really nice. Had a little get together there before heading into the casino. 600 machines in the casino. It's if you've never been to Vegas, here's your chance to experience a little bit of Vegas in Rockford. And that's apparently what the Hard Rock Cafe is going to be like. Hey, buddy.
Say hi, Ben. Wave at the nice people.
You won't hear us.
A couple of them are nice. No, I'm kidding.
We won't tell you which ones.
Yeah, I won't tell you which one. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're not in a parade. It's okay.
If you want to experience a little slice of Vegas, go check out the new Rockford Casino, because that's kind of what it's like in Vegas. A small, tiny part of it, but you get the same feel because the casino floor is just huge.
All right, I'm not a gambler. I don't care. But I probably will go in there and check it out. Maybe throw $20 in and probably walk out 6 minutes later going, dang it. I could have had lunch.
I'm pretty sure I lost $20 faster than I've ever had before. So that's,
yeah.
We were given a little tip from our waitress which machines might be a little looser than others. We didn't see those right away. We were just like, oh, here's 4 seats next to each other. Let's sit down and give it a shot.
How would she know that?
I don't know. I think that's one of those server.
Yeah.
It's one of those server things that they do that might be true, might not be true, but they're seeking for a better tip, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's a red flag. That to me is a big colossal lie.
Maybe not. I didn't hear anybody yelling and screaming for the Elvis machines, which is the tip she gave us. Look for the Elvis slot machines, and you'll maybe get a winner there.
When you walk away losing $20, he goes, "Thank you very much.
We've made our contribution to the building of the new Hard Rock.
That's right.
Performance hall, whatever we're going to call that. But anyway, I always look at gambling like any other form of entertainment. You go in knowing what you're going to spend, knowing you're going to lose it, and then you walk away hopefully being entertained for whatever amount of time you're hoping to be entertained for. So it's no different to me than, you go to a movie, you're going to sit down for an hour and a half and be entertained for, I spent my $10 or $20 or whatever, and we watched a movie and now we're done. Only this movie is a bunch of spinning things that tells you won a few cents, you lost a few cents, and pretty soon you're broke. So
there you go.
That's the story of pretty much every movie at the casino, by the way. I'm spoiler alert, Spoiler alert, that's going to happen pretty much at every.
Oh, the Hard Rock just called. They said, tell him to shut up.
If you don't know that by now, you are very,
Yeah, that's true.
very naive, or a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So anyway, those I think are my shout outs for this week. I don't have a lot of real estate stuff to talk about this week, but Team Sold on Tony had another wonderful banner week of real estate activity. And the market is definitely slowed down a little bit like it normally does in the fall. But we are still in desperate need of inventory, and it's still an amazing, great time to sell. You'll have very little competition if you're selling your house right now, and still plenty of buyers that want to see your house. So market update, that's where we're at. We're still in desperate need of it.
All right. So quick question. Seller's market, great. Let's just say I decided to sell my house, and I get 12 people, and one of them, a week later it's sold. Where am I going to go if everybody's wanting to sell their house and there's so many people trying to buy houses? I could sell the house, but then I'd be homeless for God knows how long, right?
And that's a big reason. That's one of the big reasons why the inventory is so low, because the sellers, the homeowners that do want to sell, a lot of them are reluctant to, because they're not sure where they're going to live next. And that's when I always remind people that as a seller, you're a major part of a contract where you can dictate part of that contract, which says, hey, buyer, I know you want to buy my house and you would like to move in 6 weeks, but I, as the seller, don't know where I'm living next. So give me 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's set a closing date 10 weeks or 12 weeks out. And if you're okay with that, then yes, I'll sign this contract with you. Now you've got 2 or 3 months to find your next house. And if that buyer won't agree to that term, that's okay. Well, I'll find another buyer who will. And
there's
other buyers
10 more waiting in the wings. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's renters, there's first-time homeowners that are still living with their parents. There are people that will be very willing to wait for 3 months or even 4 months or even 5 months. If it takes you that long as a seller to find your next house, as long as they know they've got it under contract and they're going to get a house that they like and will enjoy, it's there for the taking. So that's the story on that part. Good question, though. Very good question. We need to get to our guests, because I promised them.
Absolutely.
And joining us live from Rockford, Illinois. Are you in Rockford?
Yep.
We have Jill and Kristi, who I understand are cousins. And are you both authors? Are you both illustrators? What is your part in this book, Figgy and Franni?
Both of us are the authors of the book, and then I illustrated the book.
Thank God for that. That's a personal thing there. I'll tell you all about that, Greg.
So are you saying one of you can draw and one of you
no.
cannot
Kristi
draw?
can draw. Trust me, Kristi can draw. She's really good.
Just not this kind of style.
Yeah, just not for that.
Yeah.
You definitely wouldn't want me illustrating your book. I was
all stick figures. That's right. Yeah.
My famous drawing was of a pear man. So he looks like a pear and he's got stick arms and legs. That's it. So tell us about the thought behind this book and where the idea came from and all that good stuff.
Well, I've had this idea to do this book for quite a few years now. It was something that was just kind of like sitting in my head. And I think, like a lot of people during COVID, had a lot of time to kind of sit and think about things. And part of it where I kept feeling like I can't get this project really up and running. And I think what I was missing was my family to help me with it, because it really is a story about our family. So once I got her on board, everything just started to really flow and go in the direction that I was hoping it would. So
you could say I'm the linchpin that holds everything together. So that's...
Isn't that the truth with most creative types? A lot of creative types need that harnessing force, that organizing force that says, okay, good for you. You have all these great ideas. Let's put them in an order that makes sense and is marketable.
Yeah. And I think we're on the same level as that. And I think we just really needed to feed off of each other, especially since it is so close to us, so close to us because it's part of our family and a family book that, Kristi and I are getting to the point where we're kind of the the generation that's like looking at all the young ones in our family, and we kind of wanted something that they can read and look at, that they can I don't know, get a sense of their family, maybe their family that they hadn't met before, or their family that they're hearing stories of. And so it was just really important for us to just kind of build those ideas of tradition and family with everybody. And then we thought we could kind of put it out in the world, and maybe it could do for other families as it was going to do for us.
Now,
Yeah.
Jill, you were on with me. Greg was off. In fact, I believe it was Groundhog Day, the day of the famous, the now infamous Groundhog Day party, which was a blast. You brought your first book in. You are not only very, very talented, both of you are. Oh my goodness, I had a thought there and I lost it. What was I going to say? Oh God, it's just like trivia, isn't it?
Right? Well, the Acorn book.
That's what it was. The Acorn book. Expound a little bit. Oh, it's in the Rockford public school system. That's what I was going to tell you. Right.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So a few years ago, me and a gentleman named Tom Warner got together and did a book. It was called You're Like an Acorn, a little book about how, kids are small but mighty and can grow to be, grow and do very big things. And the United Way has picked it up twice now to use in their early reader program. So they use our book, and it's one of their books that they hand out. They actually have teaching materials that they put together for the book. And so they just used it again last year. They just used it again for the second time within their program. So that's kind of a neat thing. And this book really means a lot to me too, getting it done, because unfortunately we lost Tom. He passed away in 2020. And so being able to have this project done, it's a little bit of an homage to him too, because I probably wouldn't have been able to do it if I hadn't done it for the first time with him. So so it's good.
And I believe we talked about this. His wife was Anna.
Yes.
Is that right? She was my teacher at gosh, I want to say Jefferson.
Yeah, I don't remember where she was at, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
It could have been Lincoln, could have been Jefferson. I can't remember, but she was wonderful. We all, the whole class loved her. Every once in a while, you get one of those teachers that the whole class just adores, and she was it. She was the one.
I've always heard really good things about her. So
just an absolute sweetheart. Yeah.
And small world. Everybody is connected somehow in Rockford.
6 degrees of trivia I'm finding.
Right.
Because every time I meet so many people through trivia that oh my God, you know this person, you know that person. So that is really true.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
So now that this book actually published now? Is it available, or is that what the launch party is for next weekend?
We are self-publishing the book, and actually, you know what? We just got them yesterday. Just received our book yesterday. So this was pretty cool to see it like in, physical in our hands. It's a real thing. It's not just our, just in our head and an idea anymore. It's an actual.
It's not just your 15 minutes of fame.
Right. So we're self-publishing, and what we're going to do is, printing softcover books is attainable, but hardcover books are a little bit more expensive to print. And outside of that, in the back of the book, we've got 2 pages where you can put a family recipe in your book. And so we really want to be able to offer hardcover books, so this can be more of a keepsake, something that, can maybe be a book that is either passed down, or it's just something that you can have like 2 family recipes in there, and it can be more than just a story that you read with your kids. It can kind of encompass your family in it also. So we needed to get some funds for that. And then we also would like to add onto this, and it's going to be like the first in a series of books. And we've got products and aprons and all these other things that we'd like to offer. So we decided to start a Kickstarter, and that's what's happening on the 20th. Is we're going to launch our Kickstarter that day. And then kind of let the public can come and meet us and can come see our book and kind of see what we're about. We're going to do a live reading on the 20th too. So
hopefully you can see the flyer for that event now on the screen. Free family event November 20th, 1 week from today, 1 to 3 at the Nordloff Center, North Main Street in Rockford, Rigatooni Studios. Kickstarter launch, book release signing. Figgy and Franni, a legend in the baking.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
Christmas story for the whole family. Let's hope that in 5 years it's a musical and we're performing this at Rockford.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think
That'd be cool.
Character.
Well, Figgy, if you in the photo there, the Figgy character, he's a fig cookie, which in the Italian American community or Italian community, it's called a cucciadati, and that's what is made a lot of the times at Christmas time. It's kind of a family.
Do I need to bleep that word, or is that acceptable?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I told you girls to keep it clean.
But that he's I illustrated him and inspired him off of my dad. So it's kind of like, my aunt Franni was my dad's sister. And so it's kind of like a little, pay a little tribute to him within the book, within the character too. His little pompadour frosting hair is like my dad, the big
that's funny.
My dad. So
Is he the kind of guy that never was without a mustache?
Oh, never.
Big mustache.
Never saw him. I mean, younger pictures of him, like when he was probably like in his early 20s, but outside of that, he never shaved it. He always had it. Yeah, and and perfect hair. He always
In his kindergarten school picture, did he have a mustache? Probably.
He may have. I don't know.
Now, I know you said this is specifically based on your family, but I'll guarantee you that if you read this book, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's just like Uncle Joe, or that's just like, Aunt Sally or something like that. Everybody's family is going to follow this same kind of path because we all have that closeness. We all have that connection. And maybe this is a way to bring that out in families.
Go ahead.
No, I agree. I think that's the main goal is that even though it's, it's like you say, our family and everything, everybody has something. Everybody has their Aunt Franni, whoever it is. Everybody has their special thing. And that is a lot of feedback we're getting is exactly what you said. People say, oh, it reminds me of this growing up. And that's what we don't want to forget because, as we move on in time and technology takes over, it seems like these one-on-ones with family get fewer and far between. So we want to remind people the joy that you can have doing something like that, and just getting together with family and doing tangible things and not forgetting those, where you came from kind of thing.
Do you have music or anything planned for the get together? Because if not, I'm offering. I'll bring my music and just play soft background music.
Yeah, well, we'll talk. We can.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll see what's going on.
Don't put us on the spot now, Tom. You got to.
Oh, that's right. You guys really don't like me. You only act like it. God, I keep forgetting. No, I'm just saying. I'm sorry to hit you with that. I probably should have texted you.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, if you want me to show up, I will, and I will play just some soft background music. Of course, you could probably just turn on a radio or something too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the beginning of next week. It's going to be us kind of like putting everything together, what we're going to do for Saturday. So we got ideas.
We could talk on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right. So here's your event invitation. You are formally invited to the Nordloff Center next Saturday from 1 to 3. Is it something that people can kind of come and go from between 1 and 3, or do you really want people there at 1 o'clock?
No, I think they can come in and out. I mean, we are going to do, like an open house. We are going to do a live reading of the book, but we haven't really decided on a time of that. But I don't think that it's necessary that, people need to be there for that. Okay. They can come in and meet us. We're going to have some of the items that are going to be offered as rewards from our Kickstarter. We're going to have those on display so people can kind of see that, like, we're pretty far in the process and we kind of do have a good direction on where we're going. And they can, meet us and talk about our book. We got some activities for the kids and those activities they can do when they come in, hang out for a bit and leave. Just kind of a fun little Saturday afternoon, thing for families to do. So
more than likely right around 2 o'clock, you'll probably do this live reading. Okay. Give yourself an hour to build up a little bit of an audience.
Get an audience and then,
Mm-hmm. Nice. Good deal. So Nordloff Center, easy to find downtown Rockford, right there on Main Street, just off of State. Should be plenty of parking across the street or around the block or in the parking pavilion. That's right around the block there too by the Rockford Area Visitors Convention Center or Convention and Visitors Bureau. I always get that tumble.
I think that's it.
Rockford area convention visitors. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome event next Saturday, and look forward to catching up with you gals again when everything's all off and running.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
See you Wednesday, girls.
Enjoy the rest of your day. And we've got that.
Wednesday, Tom.
Yep.
We've got that information again posted on our Facebook page, so you can see it all right there on their flyer. It says join us at the top, and Figgy and Franni down at the bottom, the little scan here thing. Receive info on their Kickstarter launch, events, products, and follow them on Facebook as well. Awesome. All right, Joann is standing by. She can jump in at any time, and we do have some randoms to share with you this week. And I will go ahead and flip over to that right there. Hello, Joann.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine.
Awesome. Good to see you. I've got some interesting stuff to share with you guys today. We'll see if we make your brains any smarter or just hurt. Question for Tom and Joann. This is not the big number of the week. This is just one of those info questions. 12% of all homeowners say they have never done this in their home. 12% of homeowners say they have never done what in their home? I'll tell you the answer coming up here in just a couple of minutes. GoRockford.com, checking out all the information on there right now. Some of the things you can do this weekend include seeing Escanaba in the Moonlight. Peck Playhouse Theater is performing that at the Seward School Center. That is tonight at 8 and tomorrow at 2. Next weekend is your last chance to catch this play, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, by the Peck Playhouse Theater. Escanaba in the Moonlight. Very funny play that's set in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and lots of Yooper language, pasties, deer hunting in the woods and all that good stuff. Purchase with a Purpose is going on today at Redeemer Church on Windsor Road in Loves Park. That's today from 10 to 3, free admission, annual fair trade Christmas market back again this year. A kid zone, Compassion Cafe, lots of products to check out before Thanksgiving. Redeemer Church, again, 5501 Windsor Road, Loves Park, their annual purchase with a purpose. And then the Rockford Arts and Crafts Holiday Spectacular is today from 9 to 5, tomorrow 10 to 4 at the Indoor Sports Center, the big building there on East Riverside Boulevard. Loves Park, Mercy Health Sports Score 2, if you want to be specific. Price is $4 to get into that. It's handcrafted indoor show, all kinds of talented crafters packing the building there, the Mercy Indoor Sports Center, with a wide variety of items. And this is a big craft show, a huge, probably the biggest craft show of Rockford every year is this one right here, the Rockford Arts and Crafts Holiday Spectacular. Again, a reminder that the Michael Coolidge event is in Sycamore this Monday, 5:30 at MVP's. Join him for his major announcement, and you're going to be excited to find out what Coolidge is doing in his next mission now that his show is no longer on the air. That's right. The Michael Coolidge show ended Friday. It's all done.
So if we guess and we get it right, are you going to? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm going to lose a friendship. All right.
Yeah.
So David Saunders. I am not related to David Saunders. He passed away in August at the age of 98. And his wife, Elsie, tried to carry out his wishes by donating his body to scientific research. What she did not know is exactly what this body was going to be used for. Instead of being delivered to a medical facility, the Saunders body ended up in front of a paying audience in a hotel room in Portland, Oregon, October 17th, where spectators paid up to $500 a ticket to attend a session held by deathscience.org. It was promoted as a collaboration with the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. It sounds like they did like an autopsy on this guy's body in front of a paying audience.
If you want to see a real life autopsy and cadaver dissection for education, keep watching. We're super excited to be teaming up with
that was the advertisement that they promoted, this deathscience.org thing that they used. She's suing, obviously. Mr. Saunders' intention was to be used for scientific research, not to be put on display and done as an autopsy in front of a paying audience. That's not at all what they were looking to do. If you're looking around the world of retail, looking for a job, wow, it's a great time to get a job in retail. There's some aggressive hiring goals by some of the big companies. Walmart looking to hire about 150,000 additional workers this holiday season.
Good. Maybe they can open up a couple more check lanes.
Please open up a few more checkout.
Yeah. There you
Macy's planning to hire 76,000. Nordstrom's hoping to hire another 28,500 people. This tight job market, though, is causing retailers to be competing for a lot of these same workers. So they are offering some pretty sweet perks. Let's see if these perks get you interested in working for one of these companies. Beyond raising the hourly wages, other benefits include Walmart offering some workers free college tuition reimbursement. We've talked about that before on the show, about some companies doing that. Amazon is offering a $3,000 bonus for some of their warehouse jobs. $3,000 as a signing bonus, basically.
Wow.
And LL Bean is offering very flexible shifts. They're actually saying, you want to work a 2-hour or a 4-hour shift for hourly employees? They'll make it work. That's how desperate they are to get people in the doors working for them. So not a bad time to be looking for a job in retail if that is what you're looking for. Finally, some randoms for this week. Between the years of 2016 and 2019, Amazon Flex is apparently a part of the Amazon companies that manages their delivery services. They were secretly keeping over $60 million worth of drivers' tips. 140,000 drivers for Amazon that were receiving tips. Apparently they didn't know about this, and Amazon was keeping this money. Drivers losing out on at least some of them up to $600. So the FTC got involved. They've been sending drivers reimbursements. The average payment has been $422. Shame on you, Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff Bezos just doesn't have a lot of money. So
No.
I guess I understand that. He's got some bills. Going to space, that cost him a lot. Come on now.
Yeah, it's not Blue Origin, it's tip paid Origin or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
We
blew it, Origin.
He blew it. But a home in Newton, Massachusetts recently sold for $315,000. That's kind of not a big deal unless you start to look at the details. It was a 250 square foot house. 250 square feet is about the size of your average master bedroom, maybe
a garage or something like that.
Garage. They were actually asking $450,000. They ended up getting $315,000. But if you're looking for this cute house, sorry you missed it. Let's go. Let's see here. I want to share screen and show off this house. Here we go. Here's your photo of the 250 square foot home in Newton Highlands, Massachusetts. Sold for $315,000. And there's your interior. Tiny house, big price tag.
Wow. Hope it comes with a butler.
Ladder up to your bedroom. Mini stove. That's something else.
You know, those little houses are kind of all the rage now, aren't they?
In a way, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, less to clean, sure, but
they're sure easy to take care of. All right. Anyway, that was interesting. And then finally, last thing, there's a collection out of photos from the Hubble Space Telescope. And these 50 images from the Hubble Space Telescope are just absolutely amazing. Check out these few of these photos. April of 1990, Space Shuttle Discovery launched carrying the Hubble Space Telescope and was the first of NASA's great observatories for more than 30 years, providing astronomers incredible scientific data on everything from the solar system objects to some of the most distant galaxies.
That is so cool. It looks like Shaq.
The Pillars of Creation photo taken in 1995. The Eagle Nebula, Pillars of Creation is what they call that. Eagle, there's some more. Oh my gosh. Man. Do you think you see a lot of stars on a dark winter night out in the country? Look at what the Hubble Space Telescope is seeing. Prelude to a Cosmic Explosion, also taken in 95. Close up of Jupiter. No, this is the Andromeda Galaxy, closest large galaxy to the Milky Way.
Wow.
There's
Jupiter.
Antennae galaxies in the process of colliding. A slow process taking hundreds of millions of years.
Yeah, and when they collide in about 300 million years, look out.
Look out, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, just the images on this. This is at greensboro.com. It's just amazing. It's just crazy awesome what this Hubble Space Telescope has shown us over the last 30 years. Okay, ready for your answer? You got a guess for me?
Oh, boy.
12% of homeowners say they have never what in their house?
Cooked a turkey.
Gone up in the attic.
Joann.
Wow. She must have looked it up. You looked it up, didn't you? No, I did not. Wow, that's pretty good.
Unbelievable.
Point.
No.
Yes.
Off on that time.
Half a point.
Yeah, I actually kind of thought that number would be higher. Maybe they were polling homeowners individual or as couples or something like that. Because I would tend to think one or the other spouse has peeked up in the attic at some point or gone up in the attic just to kind of check it out.
How do you buy a house and not check out the attic? Because you're going to need to know if the roof is secure, there are leaks or anything like that. I mean, I know you get an inspector that'll do that, but
when you do a home inspection, and I'll tell you this, as a realtor, the number of homes that I've sold and had inspected and such like that, a lot of the buyers I work with, they don't look in the attic. They take a look at the inspection report and they might look at the picture.
Wouldn't looking in the attic, like if there was any leak in the roof or anything like that, the home inspectors don't check that out?
Well, the inspectors do.
Oh, yeah. But not the owners.
But the actual home buyer themselves, I would say easily, at least in the initial home buying process, very, very few home buyers are going to go up in the attic and look. They're going to trust the inspector did a good enough job, took pictures of anything that was suspicious, and that's what they do. But after moving into a home, I would think one or the other spouse would want to look up there just to look and then see if they wanted to store anything up there, whatever. It's
we also don't know how many of these polled were maybe, like you said, new couple, brand new, like they've only had the house for 6 months, so they haven't been up there. I mean, that makes sense, We
did the survey, but I thought that number was pretty low, 12%.
Yeah.
Anyway, kudos. Wow, Joann nails it. Unbelievable. All right.
Well, I was just thinking of what I don't do.
Right. Good thought. All right. So I got so many other things I could jump into, but I'm not going to right now. I want to talk about our big number at the end of the show. But yeah, do we want to take a tour of Pause this week, or what was our situation at Pause, Joann?
We could take a tour.
All right. Pause Humane Society.
You see, my iPad is working, so
you're all
very good. Up. And Greg, I wanted to talk a little Green Bay Packers, if you don't mind.
That's right. That was the
note. At some point.
All right, so let's spotlight.
We've got some really cool cats here. I haven't sent a cat of the week yet. And we have 2 new puppies. One's talking to you. Just came in from a transport. Little hound. And then this one's really scared. Little girl. Both young dogs. This one's the one that's talking. It's like, can you take me out of here?
Oh,
Waiting
what a
for their
sweetheart.
fosters. I was just people working all over the place. So this Rasputin of kittens, we've got lots of kittens again. Because these kittens aren't quite ready. They haven't been spayed or neutered yet. I'm sorry. It's a kitten head. It's like, take me home. I guess Tom likes the black cats or the orange cats.
I like all cats, but I do love my black cat, Barney.
I don't know if the brown tabby's in here. I think it was this group. Oh, now they settled down. Earlier this morning, they were a wild bunch, but they've kind of settled down now. It's two in the corner fighting. There we have Mary Ann. Sugar Bear was adopted.
Yay!
So we're really excited.
Right.
This, Mary Ann, I can't think of. They posted it, and now I didn't find that cat. One of the longest ones at the shelter. We always talk about them. Which one is it?
Amber?
Oh, she's in foster. I'm sorry. Look at this beautiful guy. Oshkosh. We've sponsored him before. Hildegard. Try calling her. Hildegard, come on. Kiki. Beautiful cat. And then this is Rihanna. She's deaf. So we've talked about her too. So we've got a lot of cats still looking. Oh, he thinks I'm letting him out or I'm feeding him. This is Cletus. And I haven't sent Greg a picture yet. So I was more worried about my iPad working.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your
quick.
Sweet. All righty. Well, let's see. We're doing really well on time this week. We're going to actually
I thought we were running late.
We're not going to run late. This does.
That's why we tried to be fast. I thought our time was late.
Nope, we're doing well. This does give me a chance to mention one more thing that I would have only wanted to save if we had extra time. We've talked about real estate, obviously, a little bit earlier, just about how crazy the market is. Some people are describing the market as frothy. There's a word for you.
Frothy.
How the market gets so frothy. Well, it started obviously in March of 2020 when the pandemic struck, and the federal government did a bunch of things to try to stabilize the economy. And some of the things they did just benefited the housing market, at least buyers, in kind of abnormal ways, I guess you could say. The programs that they instituted sent mortgage rates downward, and that kind of kicked off this whole vicious cycle that we've got going on right now in real estate. Lower mortgage rates, opening the doors to more buyers leading to bidding wars and higher purchasing prices. And then you had a bunch of investment type firms like Zillow and BlackRock and Open Door. They were starting to buy up inventory. That pushed the prices up even higher. And those higher prices drove up the valuations for surrounding homes, which obviously, prices were jumping by 11% last year, about 17% this year. So think about that. Nearly 30% price value jump in 2 years for a lot of houses in the United States. The Federal Reserve does plan to wind down the monthly bond purchases. They're going to end those by the middle of next year. And that move should push mortgage rates up a little bit higher. which still, even if our mortgage rates doubled right now, they'd still be pretty excellent. I mean, even when you consider that we're at under 3% for a lot of mortgages right now, even if we went up to 5.5 or 6%, that's nothing compared to what it was, years ago. So the analysts many analysts and myself included believe that the housing market will stay hot because of shortage of inventory. Sustained demand should keep the current prices intact. And even if prices do fall a little bit, it'll bring back more buyers into the market, and that'll push the prices back up again. So the cycle is going to keep going and going. If you're thinking about selling, it's still a great time to sell. I see maybe a little bit of a plateau in the next few months, but there's no bubble to burst because we don't have enough inventory, and banks are being very smart about who they lend money to. So you're not going to get the same situation we had in 2008 and 2007 when banks were lending money to anybody that breathed. Can you fog up this mirror? Okay, here's a loan. That's not happening anymore. So the housing market is going to stay pretty hot. All right, let's get to this big number. What do you say? You ready for this?
Sure.
Number of the week this week is a big whopping 17.4. Yes, 17.4. I should probably, if the ladies want to guess too, I can let them if they want to. But the answer this week is peach or potato. Peach or potato.
Before we guess, Jill and Kristi, if you're going to unmute, then you can guess. But what we do is we do the countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then we all say it. All right, you there?
Yep.
All right, peach or potato?
Peach or potato? Give me your guess. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Peach.
Potato.
Oh, wow.
For the win. Woo.
Yeah. I'm the only one that said peach.
I said peach.
Getting a point.
Oh, did you?
Give you time.
Well, Kristi's got a bigger mouth. I heard her. That's what it was.
Not nice.
No, from Tom, that is nice. That's fine.
That's the nicest thing I've said to her all week.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this company before. Have you ever heard of Bagdasarian Productions?
No.
Bagdasarian, one word, Bagdasarian. Bagdasarian Productions. They own Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise.
What?
And they're looking to sell that franchise for about $300 million right now. And for reference, Netflix just acquired the entire Ronald Dahl catalog, and Ronald Dahl owns Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And James and the Giant Peach. I'm screwed. It's actually Roald Dahl. There's no N in there.
Roll.
Wow.
Roald Dahl.
Tom, you're amazing.
No.
They
It's been a trivia question before.
ROALD. You're right. Roald Dahl catalog.
That was RAHL.
$700 million is what Netflix spent to buy that catalog. So that's a really big number. 17.4 is the number of pounds of the largest potato grown in New Zealand. This may be a new world record. They've named the potato Doug. All right.
Doug.
I don't know why. I just
Always go with potato.
Cute how they grew a great big potato and decided to call it Doug. So now we have a tie score, everybody. It's now 6-6. Joann
6-6.
back in the tie. And Tom.
All right, Joann, I'm rooting for you.
So do we really want to talk about how bad the Packers special teams was last week? Because that was horrible.
It was awful. Well, we got a few minutes. I just wanted to say, first of all, our prediction was way off.
Yep.
I said 30-13. You said that.
17.
31-17, something like that?
17. I expected a low scoring game, but
okay.
I thought the Packers, though they would have done better if the special teams would have showed up.
Well, here's what happened. This is what Matt LaFleur and the Packers didn't account for. Forget about special teams. It wasn't good, but that's not really where the problem was. The problem was Kansas City blitzed a brand new quarterback, first game ever. It turns out it was a really bad place to start. First of all, he had all week to think about it, and that was the problem. Had Aaron Rodgers went out with a twisted knee in like the second or third series. Oh, hey, Jordan, get your helmet on. You're going in. He wouldn't have had time to think about it, and then he could react. But because he had all week to think about it, it consumed him. You could tell on some of those passes that he was just throwing, and he looked like he was tossing a turkey or something. It was just weird. But they blitzed him 20 times. He didn't have time to think. Therefore, Aaron Jones didn't have a good game. Devontae didn't have a good game. I didn't have a good game because they're both on my fantasy team. But that's beside the point. But they blitzed him mercilessly. And they just didn't account for it. And I think what they should have done was they should have made up for it in the second half. They should have adjusted at the half. But then again, the game was only 13-7. Their defense did their job. That defense was extremely impressive. Now, a couple more drives, sustained drives. Mason Crosby hits a couple of those field goals. We get a tie game with Jordan Love, Yeah, so I wasn't.
9 points.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The way I see it is the special teams of the Packers just gave the Chiefs 9 points, and that was the difference of the game.
Well, they did. No question about it. No question about it. But I was not all that disappointed with the game. It was a game I expected. I kind of thought when I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year, nobody knew Kansas City was going to be in such peril. I expected that to be a game they could have lost because it was in Kansas City. Week 9, I believe it was. Technically week 10, but I mean the 9th game. And I thought that's a game they could lose. So, and I think the Packers probably, because you're not going to go 17-0. No one's going to do that. Someone's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. Even your playoff teams. So I figured that's maybe one of them they could lose, and they did.
Packers Seahawks this weekend. Aaron Rodgers will be back as long as he tests negative today.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
So
anyway.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Saturday Morning Stateline Show. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday Morning Stateline Show. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, girls, for coming on.
Bye.
Bear down.
No. Go Bears and take the White Sox with you. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.